We go right now to the state line where this major accident has traffic backed up for miles headed into Louisiana. Orange Police and DPS troopers are on the scene right now. Eastbound traffic on Interstate 10 is backed up past Martin Luther King Drive, nearly 6 miles from the state line. We reached out to responding officers to learn more, and little information is available to us right now about the wreck. What we do know is that drivers should avoid the area or make plans to use an alternate route if they're headed to Louisiana from Texas. A lot of rain covering our area early today, bringing with it another warm, muggy Friday afternoon. Taking a look outside our studios right now. Looks pretty nice, but Christiana Ramos standing by in our Storm Tracker Center. You say more rain is on the way, right?
Yes, it is. We do have that weak cold front that is forecasted to come through tonight, which is going to bring some isolated showers into the late afternoon and evening hours. Right now, we're in the 90th percentile for humidity, so warm and muggy conditions. Temperatures in the lower 80s up into the upper 70s by the lakes area. We're seeing some showers right now through the triangle as it comes off of the coast, but showers are going to be coming with that front moving through. So right now it's a little light, but it's going to get a bit heavier by 3 o'clock into 6. It will start to taper down into 7 in the evening hours. So for your 409 Sportscast, the first half of the game, some showers, but then it starts to clear up. Hopefully no delays. I'm not seeing any lightning with the showers. It's just going to be a little bit of rain. Never hurt anybody, right? But hey, the rest of your weekend is looking nice. Mostly sunny skies out there, and temperatures drop just a little bit because that is a weak cold front. So not major changes in the temperatures, and then it will lower our humidity levels a bit. We'll have more weather for you later on in the show.
All right, thanks, Christiana. Well, last night, the final debate between the two presidential candidates before Election Day, it was a different tone from the first debate, with each nominee muted while the other delivered his 2-minute remarks on 6 different debate topics. Many saying this debate was more civil and the candidates were able to get down to the real issues. One of the main topics of the night was coronavirus, but it was a question about the environment that has a lot of Texans talking today.
I want to open the schools. The transmittal rate to the teachers is very small, but I want to open the schools. We have to open our country. We're not going to have a country. You can't do this. We can't keep this country closed. This is a massive country with a massive economy. People are losing their jobs. They're committing suicide. There's depression, alcohol, drugs at a level that nobody's ever seen before. There's abuse, tremendous abuse. We have to open our country. You know, I've said it often, the cure cannot be worse than the problem itself. And that's what's happening. And he wants to close down, he'll close down the country if one person in our massive bureaucracy says we should close it down.
Simply not true. We ought to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. We ought to be able to safely open, but they need resources to open. You need to be able to, for example, if you're going to open a business, have social distancing within the business. You need to have, if you have a restaurant, you need to have plexiglass dividers so people cannot infect one another. You need to be in a position where you can take testing rapidly and know whether a person is in fact infected. You need to be able to trace. You need to be able to provide all the resources that are needed to do this. And that is not inconsistent with saying that we're going to make sure that we open safely. And by the way, all you teachers out there, not that many of you are going to die, so don't worry about it. Come on.
Well, Joe Biden was also talking about moving toward alternative energy sources and taking away subsidies from the oil industry. President Trump quickly jumping on those words, calling that a very big statement for big oil states like Texas. Our Verify team also breaking down some of the claims that were made during the debate. Here's our Jason Puckett.
President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden took to the debate stage Thursday for the last debate of the election. Now, right now, we're breaking down claims from each. Here's Joe Biden.
The expectation is we'll have another 200,000 Americans dead between now and the end of the year.
This claim is false.
This number has been shared by many, but it's outdated. In September, the University of Washington Institute for Health Metrics estimated the U.S. would see 410,000 COVID deaths by the end of the year. They've updated that number, though. It's now lower at 316,000 deaths. That's an estimated 93,000 more deaths before the end of the year.
He won't give federal subsidies to the gas, to solar and wind.
Yeah.
Why are we giving it to oil industry?
This claim is false. There are currently tax credits available to both the wind and solar industry, like the production tax credit and investment tax credit for wind. It offers tax credit per kilowatt hour for, quote, utility scale wind. It was actually extended under this administration in December last year.
Here's Donald Trump.
If you notice, the mortality rate is down 85%.
This claim is false.
Johns Hopkins data estimates the current observed mortality rate in the U.S. is 2.7%. When we first reported on the mortality rate in January, the mortality rate was about 2%. That's actually an increase. The 85% number the president mentions can be found by comparing the deaths from the peak of U.S. COVID deaths to the most recent recorded week. On the week of April 18th, 17,077 people died. On the week of October 10th, 2,540 people died. That is a drop of about 85%, but that's not the mortality rate for the disease as a whole.
We have the best carbon emission numbers that we've had in 35 years.
This claim is false. It's the lowest in 25 years, not 35 years. That comes from data kept by the World Bank. Data from the Environmental Protection Agency also shows that greenhouse gas emissions were the lowest in 25 years, not 35 years.
Now, we have many more claims from both Trump and Biden up on our website. And if you see something you want us to take a look at, send us an email. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Well, from the debate topics to the muted mics, what were local leaders expecting from their party's candidates in the showdown? Well, Wednesday, a poll from Quinnipiac University had President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden tied here in the Lone Star State. So we asked both local Democratic and Republican leaders to weigh in for us.
I have been expecting Texas to begin again to elect Democratic office holders.
The last few cycles have kind of taught me that polls are pretty unreliable.
If there's one thing on which both parties agree, it's that they're pleased with voter turnout so far. They continue to encourage those in our community to make a plan to get to the polls. If there's one thing on which both parties can agree, it's that they do want you to go to the polls, and they hope that last night's debate helped to secure that you will vote for one of the two candidates early, if possible, they say.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You have to live, baby. Please, please, please. I don't know. Sounds like she's kind of breathing. Checked her mouth. Checked his mouth. Back, baby. She good? Yeah.
He's breathing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some emotional and tense moments as a Brazos County Sheriff's deputy scrambles to save the life of a baby. The little boy stopped breathing after what is likely the longest minute of Deputy Adam Dodson's life. The little baby takes a breath. That life-saving encounter caught on the Brazos County deputy's body camera last month. They're just now releasing the video. Deputy Dodson performed the Heimlich maneuver while pleading with the little baby to breathe. The child taken to a hospital and is expected to be okay. Well, a suspect is in Silsbee police custody for questioning following a deadly shooting. The police chief says 23-year-old Kadrian Wells was fatally shot and killed a little before noon yesterday. It happened near Avenue H in Kirby. The investigation is ongoing. Vidor City Council taking steps to ensure that church bells will be allowed to ring without the fear of receiving a noise complaint from a neighbor. This comes after the First United Methodist Church in Groves faced a noise complaint for their church bells. Well, Vidor officials saying the sounding of bells in the city cannot be ruled a nuisance. They, of course, hoping to avoid the same issue faced in Groves. For those who've been impacted by the pandemic, followed by 2 hurricanes, the Southeast Texas Food Bank is ready to help. They're hosting 2 distribution services today and tomorrow, starting at 10 in the morning. Today, you can head to New Covenant off Highway 73 in Port Acres. Tomorrow, it'll be in Polk County at Corrigan Christian Resources on Highway 287. It will be on a first-come, first-served basis, so make sure you get there early.